Um, Smart Chat is an amazing tool, and Workstreams is an amazing tool, but they don't have to be two separate tools. Storytell is just one tool. And with those tools, I think you can be 10x effective, whether you're preparing for your NFL draft or you're trying to digest the video game manuals or trying to figure out competitive advantages. This particular scenario that we're going to walk through is one of those tasks that is rather painful and has to be done frequently, say once a month. And it requires that you analyze some data and write some content. And hopefully it's a good, just one scenario, one example that demonstrates the power of Storytell and where this expression. And so let's say I asked a question and we started working on producing a monthly business review. And so using the sales data, how did the customer perform against their targets this month? On the right-hand side, we can see I've got a few data sources selected. I have some private notes that I'm pulling in from my OneNote. I've got some data that's shared with the team, sales data, some sales targets, some information coming from our 2024 SKO forecasts, and some Zendesk support tickets. And we can see the answer here. It's a wonderful answer. But much like that Storytell, I kind of want to know exactly where this guy came from. And so I might highlight that. That's important to me. And as I scroll down here, we can see that we have sources. This is coming specifically from the sales data CSV file. And I might click on that and go explore that. Maybe that will be a exact moment in the Zoom recording where somebody said how much time Storytell was saving them. And there's also some data here that's easy to digest in a table format. And so Storytell is able to sense that and offer that. Well, I've got more questions. And so I've asked my next question now, which is, again, using the sales data, what were the top performing products in this period? And here we found out that the advanced networking module was one of the top performing products. And we won't read all of this. At this point, I might want to share this out to a colleague or a coworker, and they can come right here to this particular insight. So I might send that on Slack, or maybe I find the whole conversation valuable and I can share that entire conversation. I might want to add my own insight by making a comment at this point and starting a dialogue with one of my coworkers. Or much like we often do today, I might just want to copy that answer and run to an email. And perhaps there are other things I might do when I click on this. And so collaboration is important, and I think collaboration here is amazing. And so now I want to reference my notes. This is private information. It's not shared with the team in our OneDrive. And I've digested some of my private notes so I can contribute to this monthly business review. And I had a lot of notes. It was nice to see those summarized. I can see my tabular data here as well. And I'll just keep working on my monthly business review. And so now I want to use some financial data. I want to see what my revenue and profit. I sent that link out to one of my friends, and my colleague has just showed up. And now now one of her friends has just joined the conversation. And so now I was able to contribute my own personal notes. That has been digested now into this analysis. And now my colleagues and I, well, I haven't participated yet because I've got that big annoying red icon telling me there's something to read there. But we're having a deeper conversation now. Where might we take this? What might we do about this? Right here on the insight. And so as we continue to work through our journey here, I might be curious about some financial data. And I don't always want to see dry text. It's nice to have a table. It's nice to have a bullet point, but sometimes it's best just to see it in a chart. And as we continue to go through this journey, now we might want to use some of our customer success data, pulling data in from Zendesk. And so we're pointing the conversation. We're saying, specifically use this. I want to narrow the funnel, all naturally through conversation. And now, again, using my notes, I want to figure out what were the goals. This is not something that's sourced from Zendesk, right? And so I've uploaded my notes previously, and these are kind of the targets and where I would like this relationship to head. But this is something I have to do for many clients. I don't just have one. And so I've asked now for Storytell to turn this into a work stream. This is something I would like to repeat. And so Storytell is a very friendly service, and it's happy to whip up an automated example. And now this is my generate business review workstream. And so Storytell now is confirming to me that whenever this workflow runs, it's going to ask these questions, the same questions that I've just kind of naturally discovered, and they felt right for me. And now anytime I want, I can go and look at my work streams, and I can click the little play button, and I can run this work stream on demand, saving me the time of having to type in these 6, 7, 10 questions, whatever it might be. But we can 10x this. Why should I have to log in and press the play button? Storytell might offer to run this workflow automatically on the last Friday of the month. Wouldn't that be nice? I came in and it was there. Maybe Storytell, because my boss doesn't like to read emails, very visual. My boss wants a PowerPoint presentation. And so why not generate a macro and put this information in PowerPoint using the brand guidelines for our company? So marketing's happy. Maybe I want the results to be slacked to me as soon as they're ready. And so this, now I don't even have to come to Storytell on the first or the last Friday of the month. Click the play button. I can see the PowerPoint deck, and I've also got a Slack message that it's been done. And maybe I want to save these results to the MBR folder in our company's OneDrive. And but maybe, you know, I'm a team player, and my team is very interested in this, as they're already having a conversation when I Slack them the link. Maybe we want to work on this together and further refine this workflow. And so I could click this and invite them into the conversation, and we could further curate and edit the workflow. At this point, I think I want to save the results to the MBR folder. And so we're going to continue to modify this particular workstream. And here, Storytell has access to our OneDrive. That's where a lot of this information was sourced from in the first place. And so as we've indexed and searched, Storytell believes this is the MBR directory that I was asking for. And at this point, I could easily click the happy button, and we could just move on. I could say, no, search again. You know, what are you doing, Storytell? Or maybe I want to type into and say, no, this is the path to that particular directory. And I could save that here. And so at this point, we have a repeatable workflow that was very easy and natural, at least I believe, for me to figure out what I wanted to do. I didn't have to design charts and plots and drag lines and all those complexities. And I'm now able to repeat this workflow as often as I want, whether it's on demand, whether it's on a schedule, or it could be any other trigger. Perhaps every time an opportunity is marked as lost in Salesforce, you want some workflow to go digest and analyze that and push the information to you. And so at this point, the kind of the expression that we're looking at is that there are many jobs to be done, and there are many different steps to perform those jobs. And so as Storytell gets a little better here and a little better there, all of those capabilities can be automated into the tool, and you can stitch them together like Lego blocks to make the workflow work for you just using chat. Now, there are a couple other things that we might want to do here. Like I've just confirmed the directory is correct. And so we've continued to modify the workflow. Storytell said, awesome, you got it. We know the right spot. We're always going to save it there. And at this point, I might want to get some help and say, wow, there's even more workflow stuff. So I could click on this button and further educate myself, or have a deeper conversation with Storytell to understand what use cases and how can I automate those use cases. Now I've said, you know, that idea of running it on the last Friday of the month, that's a good idea too. So I went ahead and clicked that button or typed it in, and Storytell is further modifying the workflow here. And now I just want to verify, show me the files in my organization that I'm chatting with. And so I've kind of exited the workflow. I'm no longer modifying that repeatable recipe, back to working with my data. And now I can say, okay, this is all good data, but you know what? I forgot. There's that one file that somebody just slacked me, and it's not in the system, and all these pain points, right? But the data will all come together in Storytell. all I have to do is upload that one more file that I totally forgot about. And so we're going to go ahead and upload that file here. I can see that I'm now going to be chatting with that file. And there are many different ways that we can manage permissions. Maybe I want to grant this to the entire organization. Maybe I want this to be private, like my notes. Now this file will join one of my data pools or my data rooms or data sources. We need your help to figure out the language. And we can continue to discover what's the right thing to do for this particular strategic. And this is kind of what we're playing with, and we look forward to your feedback.